new emergency kits that are being used in Howard County. And to demonstrate how they're being used are Howard County Fire's Medical Director, Dr. Matthew Levy, and Firefighter Chris Everett. Thank you both for being here. I'm sorry we're down to this, safety kits. Now, you were saying this is called Stop the Bleed effort.
That's right. This is part of a national campaign called the Stop the Bleed Initiative, Jamie. And what the idea is to get the bleeding control resources out throughout the community so that they're there for use by anybody, be it you, me, our first responders, an off-duty doctor, whoever might be near that bleeding person as soon as something happens. Time is of the essence.
Where are these kits going to be found, Chris?
They're going to be found in a number of high-use public areas. Currently, they're deployed to the school systems, including Howard County College, and just deployed a couple weeks ago.
Just a couple. What's in the bag? What's in the kit?
So the kit has a variety of contents that have been shown by scientific evidence to be the best thing to control severe bleeding. We start off, of course, with gloves because we want people to protect themselves. There's a pair of scissors so people can expose the bleeding. The first step is finding the severe bleeding. And then we have tools that we can use to control the bleeding. If it's on an extremity and it's severe, we want people to apply a tourniquet like Chris is going to do right now.
The tourniquet is in the kit.
The tourniquets are in the kits, and these blue ones are training ones, but they're the exact identical tourniquets. And Chris is applying that.
Yeah, Chris, how do you know when it's too tight, or is there such a thing?
There is such a thing, but the intent of this is you're going to turn this down until you've controlled the bleeding. If the bleeding is not controlled, you're going to apply more tension.
And you know, there are cases where we're going to have to do it. Citizens are going to have to do it because we can't, your first responders are racing and all of a sudden things are breaking loose.
That's absolutely right. And we know that from a variety of prior disasters that many times those who are present with the injured, those people in society who are there, render life-saving care. So this effort is designed to really give those people the tools and the knowledge as to how to stop bleeding. We've launched with this campaign a public education campaign, so we'll teach people how to control severe bleeding and the basis of that.
Yeah, it's one thing to have the kits, like we have the CPR, but you got to know how to do it, right, Chris?
That's exactly right. So we spent some time training with a lot of the nurses from the school system, and the intent here is if you've got severe hemorrhage on an extremity, you're going to go directly to a tourniquet. But that may or may not be appropriate if you can't access that extremity. So if you're, say you're injured in an armpit or an inguinal area, or even, heaven forbid, in your neck, then you can apply something else. You can pack the wound. This is a hemostatic agent or a gauze that
Take a look at it. Yep.
Going to, you can apply directly into the wound. And the tricky thing with that, if I may.
We'll show you here. And the idea, while Chris is setting that up for you, is that, as he mentioned, not all bleeding can you get a tourniquet around. Certainly, we would never do a tourniquet on the neck. And if it's up high in the armpit or in the groin, an area where you can't wrap something around, we have to hold pressure. We have to hold direct pressure, and we do that by packing these wounds and holding pressure.
No kidding. Look at that.
But the other thing to remember is that not every location has a bleeding control kit. So everybody can do something. They can use their hands to find that bleeding and hold direct pressure while they call for someone to get a bleeding control kit. And if there isn't one available, we want them just to hold and maintain that pressure until help arrives, and use whatever they can to put something in that wound, preferably something clean, like a clean shirt or anything like that, just to get that wound under control and that bleeding slowed down.
And Chris, you got the bleeding under control. There you go. It's not,
like
we're not talking just about gunshot. We're not talking about gunfire.
That's absolutely correct.
We're talking about car crashes, place accidents, and the like.
That's absolutely correct. This isn't about doomsday. It's about every day. Industrial accidents to car crashes to things that happen.
Howard County always in the forefront. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Doctor, for coming in. Both of you keeping us safe here. All right.